So I'm going to go back to the Grade Center. Go into the full Grade Center. Okay, so now we want to look at a couple of issues that we've seen that have come up with instructors that that will allow you to easily resolve certain things that you may encounter in your course. So as Anne mentioned earlier, sometimes you may have a student for some reason, whatever the case may be, is in the middle of their exam, and for some reason it's still showing this in progress right here, but it's not allowing them to submit it on their end, and they're asking for you to go in on your end and see if there's anything that you can do. And for an exam, there actually is. So this is a quiz. I'm going to click the little arrow next to the this particular quiz. I'm going to go to the either way you can go to the view grade details, but I'm going to click on attempt. So here I can see it says this attempt is currently in progress. To grade the attempt, you must submit the attempt. So as an instructor, like I said, and this is usually, let me minimize, this is usually minimized like this. For a student with an exam, if they're having an issue and it's not allowing them to submit, you can pop open this test information section right here. And you have the option to, if they say, if you want to clear the attempt and allow them to redo it, you can clear it from here, and it'll only clear it just for this particular user. Or if you just need to submit it so it'll go through so that you can see the grade on your end, you can click submit attempt. Or it's going to ask you, hey, are you sure? You click OK. And now this attempt has been submitted. You'll see that didn't do too well in this quiz. I made a 10 out of 30. So like I was mentioning, if you have a student, they say, hey, that for some reason I can't submit my quiz, it's locked me out. And you need to go in and submit it on your end for the instructor. You'll come in, you'll click the attempt, you'll view their attempt. This test information area is where you'll come, and it has the option where you can submit the grade for them. Submit the assignment on their behalf, and then you'll see now the grade here and in the grade center. If for some reason you need to clear this attempt, you want the student to have another try, they were in the middle of the test, they weren't still taking it, whatever the case may be, they locked out the internet, power went out, whatever the case may be, I want to clear the attempt just for this particular student, I can actually go right here, say clear attempt. It's going to remove the attempt out of the system. I click OK. And then this particular student can now actually go back in and retake that quiz. Now that's how you do it for a test. I'm going to go back over here and scroll down a little bit. Because if you're clearing an attempt for a assignment, it's going to be a little bit different. So here we have this assignment here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to again click on the arrow next to Linda's name. I'm going to go to the view grade details page. So I can see here that it shows that she's in progress, but she said that it's not letting her submit. She doesn't see the submit button, whatever the case may be. I can't submit this for her because it is an assignment. I can only do that with a test. But what I can do is I can clear her attempt and allow her to just redo it. So for assignments, what I'll do is I'll have to say where it says clear grade. I'm going to click clear grade. It says delete this grade, the actions be final. Yes, okay, I know that. I'm going to click clear grade. Now it's cleared out for her and she can go back in and do that attempt again. So if you're doing it for a test, the student, you can submit it on their behalf, but for an assignment, you can't. You have to clear it out, and then you'll have to allow them to go back in and redo it. One thing that you want to make sure of, I'm going to go to another one real quick so you can see a little bit differently. Let's go to this one right here. Bruce, he has submitted this one, but I need to clear his attempt because for some reason file didn't load, and I can't see it on my end. I'm going to click grade user. Actually, I'm sorry. Clicked on the wrong thing, sorry. Go back real quick. I actually want to click on view grade details, excuse me. So on this end, you'll see it says clear grade here. I'll clear it out, and then I will, it'll allow me to allow the student to redo that attempt. You'll want to make sure when you are clearing an attempt that you clear it just like I did for that particular student. Have had a case where an instructor thought she was clearing the grades for the entire student, for one particular student, but the way she did it was by coming here. And if you come up here, I'm not seeing it. Okay, let's do this. If you come here and you clicked, where is it? Clear attempts for all users. This is going to clear the attempt for, like it says, all users. I know sometimes you may think, oh, that's common sense, but sometimes we're in a panic and we're trying to help a student out. They're frazzled, you're frazzled, it's late at night, like Ann said, and we're not available. You want to make sure that you are clearing it for that particular student by coming down, clicking next to their name, going to the view grade details and clearing either the attempt or clearing the grade for that particular student. Do not come up here and click clear attempts for all users, because unfortunately, once that's done, we cannot get those back. You will have to go in and have the students retake that retake that test or redo that assignment. So you want to make sure if you have to clear an attempt for a student, that you come down by their name, click the arrow next to their name, and go to the view grades details page for that. Okay. The next thing I want to look at is, like I mentioned earlier, you have deleted needing to delete columns. You'll want to make sure that when you get ready to delete columns, that you actually go to the item in the course. So if I have a particular assignment I want to delete out of the course, go to that assignment, delete it from there. If for some reason you're trying to delete a column here, you'll notice that, oh, I don't have the delete column item. I've had an instructor contact me and say, hey, I'm trying to get rid of this column, I don't need it. It's because this is connected to something in the course. You'll have to go in the course and find that item there, and then you'll be able to delete it. But if I have items like I had earlier, the duplicated ones, or this one that I just created earlier, remember I can't delete it, but if I want to get rid of it, I'll go back into my course. I'll find that assignment, that research paper that I created here. When I'll delete it from here. And then when I go back to the Grade Center, and I scroll over, I'll see that it's gone. Those manual grades those manual columns that you created, you can delete those. And like I said, sometimes every now and then we'll see a case where we have instructors have columns that somehow they've gotten pulled over from a course that you copied from, and you're not able to delete it. You don't see it in your course. In those cases, it's best for us to just go in and hide that column, make sure that it's not shown in the calculation. So for like this right here, I'll click the menu items. And what I want to do is I want to add the column information here. So I'll come down here and I want to say, I want to make sure that it's not included in the calculations. And I want to make sure the students don't see it. Make sure that it's not worth any points. And then I can go in and then after I've done that, making sure that all those done, because if you have a column that you hide from your students or you hide from yourself and you don't make these changes to it, then their students' grades are going to be off, because it's in the end it'll look like, okay, they haven't done an assignment, or they're being penalized for an assignment they didn't do, but it's because one, you've deleted and you didn't take it out of the calculation. So you want to make sure, or if you hid it from yourself, hid it from them, because you want to use it the next term, you want to make sure that you go back again, just so you can see how I did that. So I'm going to that Pluto assignment again. I want to click the menu. I'm going to add the column information because I want to get rid of this column. I'm deleting this assignment from this for whatever reason the case may be. I want to make sure that it's not any points. I'm going to make sure that it's hidden from the students, and it's also not shown in their calculation so that it does not mess up their grade in the end. As I was mentioning earlier, say for instance, I don't want to delete this column, but I want to change it to a new category. As I mentioned earlier, when you have these categories created, whether you have a midterm or you have an assignment, this area right here is where you'll change the category, where you'll put it with a different category. So maybe this is not a discussion, maybe this is part of their midterm. They had a discussion board midterm, whatever the case may be, or however I did it. I can go in and change that to that different category, whatever the case may be. And once you're done, you'll click submit, and all those changes will be saved But that one was one that I did hide from the students. So now it's hidden from them. If I wanted to hide it from myself, I could hide that from myself as well. And the last thing that I want to quickly go over before we get to the questions is the weighted column. So weighted columns can be kind of tricky. Let's scroll over here to the one that we already have created. So we have a weighted total. I'm actually going to create a new one, actually. Let's see. Here I have the weighted column. I'm going to call this their course average. I want this to display as, maybe I want them to see a score, and I also want them to see that percentage for the score. So maybe I want them to see both. However you want to do, you can determine that. Now you have the option to just go in and say, I want to pull in these particular columns to do my percentages, but we recommend that you actually do the categories. That's why I was showing the categories earlier. It's a lot easier and it's a lot cleaner when you do it that way. So if you put all your blogs or your discussion boards together as one category, and that's that's the percentage of your scores. You call them discussions or whatever. And then you have all your quizzes together. It's easier to do it that way instead of coming to go in here and doing the different columns. So I'm going to say my assignments. I'm going to select it from this category down here. I'm going to click the arrow to pop it over here. My assignments, they're worth maybe 20%. And then I'm going to say I'm going to have discussions. My discussions, they're going to be worth maybe 15%. I'm going to find, let's see, my midterm. Pop that over there. My midterm is worth, where's the midterm? There we go. Midterm, we're going to say it's worth 40%. I know the calculations might be a little weird, but you can see as I'm doing my calculations here at the very bottom, I have it calculating it for me. Say I'm going to have their final, it's worth 45. Now I've done, my calculations are not 100. I'm aware of that. So I'm going to go in and fix it. Oh, hold on a second. Let me go back to it. Sorry. Oops. In the scroll and click happy over here. Just want to edit that column real quick. So what I want to do is I want to adjust the percentages as I was doing them. So I want to take this assignment, the discussion down to 5% actually. Let's see. Okay, now my percentage is still not where it was. I'm going to take this midterm. I'm going to take it down to 30 instead. It's going to automatically calculate all the assignments together for that particular percentage. It's going to do the calculations for your midterm for that particular percentage. So now I can see the student right here. He has a score of 75 points. His percentage is 180, but that's, again, those calculations may be a little bit off because of how the things are calculated in. So I'd have to go in and make sure that I have all of my, everything that's being pulled into the categories, they're in the right category so that the calculations will be done correct. So that's one thing that you have to do is make sure that you have the right assignments pulled into the right category. Let's see some chat questions here. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second.